Hi ninjas, how are you doing? It's your girl Owamie, aka Miss Fair for collaborating back for our entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, I'm most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that I subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at boldly Owamie. Now, my ninjas, today in studio, I have Mr. Olanie. Is it?
Very correct.
Olanie.
Olaniyi.
Olani.
Yeah.
Olani. Okay.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to our entertainment.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, so you reached out to us. I think that was after the second episode of the lady that was being abused by her Nigerian husband, the one that has 4 kids and all that. And so at first, when my sister said there's someone that has reached out, I was like, what's going on? Exactly what is happening. But then I really honestly believe in inclusivity, and I believe in everyone has a side of their story and everyone deserves to be heard. And so that's why I said, okay, you know what? Let him come. Let's sit. Let's discuss what's going on. So maybe you can go ahead and just start off by introducing yourself so that people will know who you are and pronounce your name correctly.
I will, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, I must commend you for what you are doing. And like you said, you believe in inclusivity. That's giving everybody an opportunity. I'm not here to defend anyone, but I'm here to say, as Nigerians, our narrative are not being told the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
But before I go into that, I will introduce myself. And, my name is Olaniyi Abodedele. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a community engagement strategist. I'm a community leader. I'm a publisher. And I'm an event coordinator. So in terms of the Nigerian community engagement strategist, I welcome people into the Nigerian space. Corporate organizations, individuals that want to do business and everything. I'm like a gateway to the Nigerian community in South Africa. I've been involved in a lot of projects, a lot of corporate organizations with individuals and things like that. So I do that on one part. Like I said, I'm a community leader as well. I'm the chairman of the Nigerian Union in Gauteng.
Oh, in Gauteng.
In Gauteng. I'm the chairman of the Nigerian Union in Gauteng. And like I said, I'm a publisher as well. I publish a Nigerian community newspaper here in South Africa. It's called the Nigerian Voice. So it's for the Nigerian community here in South Africa. And in terms of events as well, I do quite a few events, conferences, and things like that. But most importantly, I do the Nigerian Community Excellence Award here in South Africa. This year, October, it's going to be the 7th year, the 5th edition. We could not do two editions because of COVID and things like that. But predominantly, the award celebrates excellence within the Nigerian community and also recognizes South Africans that partner with Nigerians in certain fields and everything. And that is where I'm coming from, because I get to be asked that question, and I hear that question a lot. Where are there good Nigerians in South Africa? Where are the good Nigerians in South Africa? Because everything about Nigerian in South Africa is negativity. Of course, I know the media are playing on that. The media loves that because, anything negative sells in the media. And today's world, clicks are money. So when the news is negative, the clicks are higher. When the news is positive, the clicks are not so high. But I've been following you for a while. And I've been following a lot of social media platforms. And I want to commend you because when I reached out to you, you gave me the opportunity, unlike a lot of other social medias, which we don't get that kind of opportunity. But what I want to say is I watched a few of your episodes that has to do with Nigerians, about 3 or 4 ladies in particular that come here and say a few things about Nigeria and everything. And I sat down and I looked at it and I said to myself, no, this is not a true representation of us. Because of a few 1, 2, 3 people, the generality of Nigerians cannot be termed as being bad. We are human beings first. And I feel in every country and every society, there's the bad, the good, and the ugly. But it depends on where you fall into. and which of that aspect have you come across and have you met? If you've come across the bad one, your narrative about any individual will be bad. If you come across the good ones, your narrative is going to be good.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yes.
But importantly, again, what struck me after those interviews, the captions on those interviews, my Nigerian husband did ritual, and I looked at every other thing. I never saw any place where any of the ladies complaining, say, my South African husband, my Zimbabwean husband, my Malawi husband. Why is that? Because I feel Nigeria sells. And when that name Nigeria is there, then that curiosity is there. People want to know what happens and everything.
Yes. It is a strategic move. However, I will say, if you go to my podcast channel, you will see that I do specify by also by country and nationality, I think. Like, for me to say, oh, South African, it's usually like, okay, we are South Africans. We're in South Africa. We know it will be one. But if you go there, you'll find that I was scammed by my Ugandan boyfriend. I was this and this. So it's not only about Nigerians, but you are right. It does sell. And me, obviously, having to do the whole production, what do I need? I do need money. So I will be honest on that, It also is a selling point. However, it's not really to say...
Specifically.
Yes. So it's not only Nigerians. Like, I do, like, oh, Ugandans, this and that. I've said a few, Tonga or South African, something like that. But, yeah, mostly it's when it's a foreigner involved.
Okay. No, I mean, I was just pointing that out. Yeah. I understand. Like I said, I appreciate what you are doing. And for the fact that you're willing to give everybody the opportunity to come and speak, it's something commendable because, like I said, some people wouldn't give that opportunity. Yeah. So, yeah, I reached out to you, say, no, this is not who we are. This is not a true representation of us and everything. Because in most times, when you get to hear about Nigerians in South Africa, it's something that has to do with ladies, it's something that has to do with drugs, it's something that has to do with clubbing, alcohol, and things like that. But those are not the only type of Nigerians in South Africa. But unfortunately, those are the ones the media are giving the opportunity to speak. And when they speak, they represent us badly. They put us in a bad light. People see us as that. But unfortunately, again, those set of people have done a lot of damage to us that even the good Nigerians are scared to put their face out because already, no matter what you want to say, you've been profiled. People know you are in Nigeria, first of all, you've been profiled.
Yes.
They don't want to hear what you have to say, either good or bad. But importantly, me as an individual, I believe in Africa and I believe in one Africa. And anything that has got to do with uniting Africa, you'll find me there. I'll support it 100%. Yes. And that is why I've reached out to say it is high time as good Nigerians, we begin to come out to see our stories and not let people speak on our behalf, because when they speak on our behalf, they cannot narrate who we are as a people correctly.
No, I mean, I will not lie. I do feel, with what you're saying, and I think it's quite sad. It's a really sad situation. As you're saying, the good Nigerians, we do not see them. So the bad ones, or the ones that do bad stuff, are the ones that are mostly on the forefront. If you see anything trending, you can go and do something great. Even if you're a South African, for you to trend for that, it takes a lot. But just do one bad thing, and you're going to be trending for days. You understand what I'm saying? So I think the reason why, like, Nigerians in South Africa are forever trending is because one has done something wrong. And so it's like every single time a Nigerian is trending for something, it's usually bad. You understand what I'm saying? And so I really don't know how this situation can be corrected. I think that maybe, the good Nigerians, as you're saying, maybe they should start showing face. I'll give an example of all the women that have ever come to my podcast that were married to Nigerians or were dating Nigerians. All of them did not really have too many positive things to say. They will say, yeah, it started off good. It's always that. It started off good. But then this and this and this and this and this. And when I tell you that there are certain things that they are not comfortable to say on camera, but we speak behind the scenes, and I'm just shocked. I don't know, is it a matter of it's cultural differences or what happens, because there are certain things that one would do and I look at it and I'm like, but that's pure hate. Like if you even like someone, you can't do such a thing. Not to talk of love. I'll give you an example, and I hope that maybe you as one of the leaders in the Nigerian community, you can actually help. That's one thing that I can ask. I did not know that you were one of the leaders when you were coming, but the lady that I had an interview with, I forgot
The one
her
with the
name.
4 kids.
The one with the 4 kids.
Okay.
I would love for you, honestly,
I
to
know her.
intervene.
I've met her. I know her. I've met her. I've heard her story. And now, let me say this. The mistake a lot of ladies make is this. If they meet their friend married to a Nigerian or dating a Nigerian, married to a good Nigerian, and the guy is taking very good care of her, they are happy and everything, automatically it triggers them, I want a Nigerian. The next Nigerian they meet, they fall for him straight without understanding the fact that people are different. Just because my friend is with a good Nigerian does not mean all Nigerians are good, and does not mean I have to jump into the hands of the next Nigerian. Look, as a human being in life, we must have standards. And as human beings, we must be able to make decisions on what we want. And the honest truth in life is, either we like it or not, there are consequences for everything. And once you make a decision to do something, you must be able to have thought about it, the positive and the negative. And when the positive comes, glory be to it. When the negatives come, you must be able to take it. Now, that is one. There are South African ladies that have been married to Nigerians in this country for 30 years, 25 years, and they are still very happy. They've got kids. They go to Nigeria without their husband. They stay in Nigeria. Those stories are there. I know a lot of them.
But
You
they
understand?
just never speak up.
No, because they do not have a problem and they do not have a reason to speak up.
Yes.
Now, another thing is this. As a lady, you meet me as an individual, and you want to tell me in a year or in 6 months or in 2 years, you cannot define who I am, then you are not serious. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because the fact is, if you are meeting me and you are going out with me, there is no way I'm going to hide my entire behavior or attitude for 6 months or for a year. You must have been able to determine what you want or what you don't want. But the mistake most ladies make, not only in Nigeria, is I believe it will change. I believe I can change him. Or out of fear, they don't want to speak out because they've already said a lot of good things to their friends and then going out to say it in the other way again.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Now, I'll keep that aside. Now, a lot of these ladies that come out to complain, and when I watch it, you understand, I find out that, number one, it's even very difficult for them to say the full names of who their husband is. Number two, it's very difficult for them to say what their man does. Because you see, in most cases, these ladies, they've done things together with these guys. And when I mean they've done things together, I know what I'm talking about. You understand? You cannot tell me you are with a man for 15 years. And it is that 15 years he started that attitude. And within that 15 years, what have you done to that? I'm going to give you a few examples. I've been privileged to be in situations whereby people have reported their Nigerian boyfriends to them. That he's abusive, he's done this, he's done that, he's done. And we've gone on to the police to involve the police. And when the police comes, they will say, no, it's my husband, we are going to settle it at home, and things like that. And that's the same thing with the issue of that same lady, because when they brought them, you understand, and they spoke, said, what step have you taken? You find out that at a point, police had been involved. They had given a notice to the guy for them not to see again and everything. People talked her into it. People begged her. She accepted again. You understand what I'm saying? She accepted again. This thing has not just started. It has started a long time. Why have you waited for 15 years? And that's where it comes to decision making as an individual. What do you want for yourself? I'm going to say something. In life, there are 3 stages of education. The first stage is when you are born, the education you learn within the 4 walls of your home, your parents' home, what they teach you. The second level of education is the one you learn outside, when you go to school, primary school, higher institution, secondary school. And the last one is the one you teach yourself, the lesson of life. And that's the most important one, because that can make you or that can break you. That's the one that sustains you. Now, if the later part of your life, you make a decision that I want to be with an abusive man, I want to be with a drug dealer, I want to be with a scammer, that's the decision you've made for yourself. Because you cannot tell me for 2 years, for 3 years, or within the first 6 months, you don't have an idea that the guy you are dating is a drug dealer, is a scammer, or is an abuser. If you tell me that you don't know within the first 6 months or a year that you are dating this guy, then you're not serious with yourself. So at that point, what decision do you make? Do you understand what I'm saying? You made a decision. You come, you say, I didn't know I didn't know on time he was a drug dealer. But when you knew he was a drug dealer, or when you knew he was a scammer, what did you do? And now when things go south, when things go bad, you begin to come that my Nigerian boyfriend, my Nigerian husband is a drug dealer, my Nigerian is a scammer, my Nigerian. But you knew all along. You decided to stick with it. So that's a decision you've made. And when you're making that decision, you as an individual, as a family, you must have taken a decision to say, I'm taking this risk. These are the advantages, these are disadvantages.
So obviously right now we're talking in terms of these relationships that are here. Same situation that I'm going to still talk about, the lady that you say that, you've met her and everything. Yeah. She's with her husband. The husband knows that this woman has got 4 kids. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. They have 4 kids together. Yeah. He's been very abusive physically and everything. I mean, she sent me pictures that unfortunately I just could not put them out. But they are very vivid, and just it's something that I'm like, oh my God, like this person could have killed you. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And she definitely needs to take accountability of the fact that it happened the first time. She did not leave the second. She did not leave the third. And I think that it's that whole cycle of believing that I can change him, which that doesn't only just happen with Nigerians. That's what also happens with South African men. You understand? Like, whether if you're dating a man from wherever, I feel like there's a lot of women that just maybe don't have a certain level of respect towards themselves. Discipline, or there's a certain level of self-love. You can't hit me and I'm still going to be with you. Like, that's something I have for myself. You can't be married to me and cheat on me and I stay. I will leave, and I've done that. Absolutely. Do you understand? Yeah. That's the standard I have for myself. Yeah. It is unfortunate that it's not everyone that has that. Yeah. But for me, the question that I have in this situation, the husband went and illegally did fraud and changed the names of the cars, of which he knows it's a business that is for both of them, that is still feeding the kids. What would you say in that instant? So should we now sit and say that, well, you were with him, he was abusive, he was this and that, absolutely you deserve not. It, absolutely like it should not. Happen. Like, no. What then now for me, you being a Nigerian man and me being a South African woman, I'm trying to also just understand what gets to a level where a man would think like that, because he robbed his own family.
I'm going to answer your question. Before I answer your question, I'm also going to ask you a question. Do you think that happened because the guy is a Nigerian or because of who he is?
I think it happened because of who he is.
Thank you. Yes. And that is the point I'm trying to make. Either Nigerian, either South African, either Congolese, either British. It doesn't matter the nationality. They are the good, the bad, and the ugly set of people. And like I said, it depends on who you come across. Now we've established that fact that it is not because he's a Nigerian, but that is his character as an individual. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Let's deal with him as an individual and not as a Nigerian. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is absolutely wrong. Absolutely. And in no way will I accept that, either for my sister or for my friend. The guy is an animal. The guy is unrealistic. And it needs to be done. Now, this brings me to the next issue. there's a guy like that and has done that, and we all know it's bad. But there are agencies and there are authorities that are responsible to take care of this. I, as an individual, I'm not going to attack him. The best I can do is to involve the authorities involved, either the police or whichever authorities or whatever, to get involved. And now, this brings me to another issue. And either we like it or not, and that is why I've said that. You see, a lot of these things are purposely structured to be like that. Because they want to keep us apart. As Africans or as Nigerians and as South Africans. You understand? And the two biggest problems we have is one, our leaders in Africa, and two, the media. Because I keep saying it, there is no Nigerian or any foreign national that serves in the South African police. There is no Nigerian that serves in Home Affairs. There is no Nigerian that serves in a lot of departments that are responsible for these things. Now, when this department fails, are we to be held accountable as a Nigerian? That's one question we need to deal with. And that is why I've consistently said it, that as Nigerians, as Africans, we need to sit down and have these conversations, because it is absolutely important. Because as Africans, we need to unite, and we must get it right. Because people don't want us to unite, people don't want us to get it right. And again, we must understand that for the bad people that commit all these things, for them it's not about nationality, they work together. For them it's about making money. For them it's about enhancing their trade. But for us as the good people, they make us fight. We lose opportunity of working together. We lose opportunity of growing together. We lose so many opportunities. And that is where I'm coming from. As good Nigerians, good South Africans or Africans, at what point would we realize that we must not fight these people's battle? We must try to empower ourselves. We must try to progress. Next year is going to be my 20th year in South Africa. And I'm yet to see any meaningful partnership between a Nigerian and a South African. Why? But I can mention to you successful partnership between white South Africans and white Nigerians, or with white Africans. I'm going to give you an example. The international money transfer market is a very huge market within South Africa because of the number of migrants and diasporas in South Africa. Right? 95% of international money transfer organizations in South Africa are predominantly owned by whites. And most of their money, they get it from the migrant community. Now, I was a brand ambassador for a transfer money organization. Before they could find their way into the Nigerian community space, they were making about 2 million, 3 million rands on a monthly basis in terms of transfer. When they came into the Nigerian space, through me and through the Nigerian whatever, they began to make like 20 million, 25 million on a monthly basis. That is a market. And I'm saying it, as Nigerian communities in South Africa, we can continue to strive, we can continue to survive in South Africa by only doing business within ourselves. Because there's money in that community, there's opportunity there. So even if South African decides that as Nigerians, we are not going to give them job, which they are not, but we are still surviving. We are paying our rent, we are meeting our daily needs because we are doing business within our community. Now, I believe as South Africans, we is our host country. There are opportunities like that they can take advantage of. But if we continue to fight ourselves that Nigerians are this, Nigerians are that, South Africans are this, we are not going to help ourselves. We are going to continue keeping ourselves down.
I think what maybe the question that I will ask is that we all know that we've got syndicates, right?
Yeah.
We've got syndicates towards, amongst South Africans. We've got syndicates amongst Nigerians, Ugandians, Somalians, Tanzanians. And they each have their own groups of what is it that they actually do.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, I will not even lie to you. First of all, I think if you know me as a person, you will know that I'm not xenophobic at all. I stand for inclusivity, as I've said. However, I think the question that I would have is that I am understanding that you're saying that, there's a lot of money amongst the Nigerian community, which I would not refuse. If you go to Hartes, a lot of the boats that are there, it's either whites or Nigerians. If you go to a lot of places, if you go to the club, people that are buying 15,000 rands bottles, mostly Nigerians. So money is definitely there. The question I think that might be there is that how is that money being made? Because if they are not being given opportunities to work and have jobs in the country, which we have seen that's what's happening, and it's not only Nigerians. We're living in a country that has one of the highest unemployment rate. So would it then be out of mind for someone to sit and say, okay, I understand that community has money. We see that community has money. But how is this community really getting to that money? If the people that are here that don't have jobs are not having anything, but within your community, there's no jobs, but yet 100,000 is spent in the club in one night, and this person is driving a Lamborghini that costs 10 million and it's bought cash.
Now, to answer that question, and I'm going to answer in two ways. First, because I'm in South Africa, and because South African government is not giving me employment, or because I'm not working, does not mean I cannot raise fund to start buying cars, repairing cars, and selling cars. It does not mean I cannot buy land, begin to build property, and begin to sell properties. It does not mean I cannot raise money and go into media, begin to shoot, sell content, even outside of South Africa. It does not mean I cannot raise money, buy boats, as you have said, in artists, put it out there in the name of someone, and begin. So those opportunities are there, and we are taking advantage of it. You understand? Now, the second part, and I'm going to say this. It would be very stupid of me as an individual to work hard, make 100,000, go to club, and spend 15,000 on alcohol. It's absolutely stupid. You understand? And I always tell someone, when you engage someone and you ask that person, what do you do for a living? And in 1 second, that person cannot say what he does. Then there's something wrong there. You understand? Now, like I said, if you're a genuine businessman and an honest businessman, there's no way that you're going to be spending 15,000 in clubs. There's no way you're going to be drinking expensive alcohol. There's no way that you make money and all you think of wearing is Louis Vuitton or whatever and everything. And this is my personal opinion. For me, I don't believe in brands. And if you see any individual that believes in brand, it's as a result of inferiority complex, because they want that brand to speak for them rather than them using what is up here to speak for themselves. That's the way I see it. So for me, if you come to me and all what you are putting on is brand or whatever, I already have an idea of the kind of person you are, and I want to engage you intellectually to be able to gauge your sense of reasoning, to be able to gauge who you are. That is another aspect. You understand? So for me, it doesn't make sense for me to work hard, sweat hard, and I believe I'm going to go to a club, spend 15,000 rand today, spend 15,000 rand tomorrow, spend 15,000 rand next one. Then that means something is wrong with me psychologically. You understand? Because if I sweat for my money, I'm not going to spend it that way. That is number one. Number two, if I work hard for my money, for me as an individual, I do not believe in brands. Anything that suits me, that looks well on me, it doesn't matter. Either I buy it in Mr. Price, I buy it in Woolworths, or it doesn't matter for me. Because for me, what is up here is what is important to me. But for me, when people begin to wear face cap, brand, t-shirt brand, trouser brand, this, that, watch, for me, it's a matter of inferiority complex. Because now I believe that is what you want to speak for you. You don't want what you have upstairs to speak for you and things like that. So those are there. And don't get me wrong, and the viewers should not get me wrong. I'm not saying there are no bad Nigerians. I'm not saying there are no terrible Nigerians. They are, and they are bound. But now, what I'm saying is, the stories of those ones do not really define who we are as good Nigerians. But these bad Nigerians have done so much damage to us that even the good ones are scared to bring their face out. But that must stop. And we must begin to come, say our story, and things like that. I just said, there's the Nigerian Community Excellence Award. The next one is coming in October. If you go to our website, you will see the caliber of Nigerians that have won awards.
Can I get an invite?
Definitely.
Okay. I'll be there.
You will see the caliber of Nigerians that are there, and you'll be surprised, and you say, wow, so this kind of Nigerians are in South Africa. So where are they? Now, the purpose of that award itself, means for starting that award itself, is because we want our stories to be heard. It's because we feel we need to start putting our best foot forward. We believe that we need to begin to identify and showcase role models for the younger generation. And that's why the award is there. You understand? And I implore every South African that I've been saying, where are the good Nigerians? Where can we find good Nigerians? That's one of the places. And remember, you won't find good Nigerians. You won't find disciplined Nigerians in club. You won't find them on the street because they are so busy with work. They are so busy with their business. They are so busy with their family because most of them, once they go out from work, they are going home to be with their family and everything. Once in a while, maybe on a weekend or whatever, you see them go to family friends' place. Maybe there's a bride and things like that. But you don't see them in club spending 15,000, spending 20,000, or putting themselves out there.
I think, Uri, the question that I would have is, what do you think
went wrong?
No, not really went wrong. What do you think can be done to... I know it's not gonna change everyone. There are people that are like mind shut, like Nigerians are bad. They've put it out there. They've locked with so many locks that no matter what you can say, as long as you're a Nigerian, they've already just like, I don't even want to hear anything, Others is based off of stories they've had, others personal experiences, others experiences of what has happened to their loved ones. You understand? What do you think maybe can happen between Nigerians and South Africans? Because in all honesty, what you're saying, it is the truth. The Nigerian community, you guys do have the money. We do see it. We do see the not necessarily to say the bottles popped or whatever, but if I'm not talking about the elite, you understand, like those mentions and stuff like that. You guys do. You understand what I'm saying? What do you think maybe can be done to at least try and also get that message out there to say that we also have good Nigerians in the country? Because it is unfortunate that usually if someone comes out and they're talking about a Nigerian, it's always a bad experience, majority of the time. So what do you think maybe can be done?
Okay, based on my experience, I think before we see what can be done, we also need to identify where did it start and where did it start going wrong. Okay. Because like I said, next year is going to be my 20th year in this country.
Your 20th?
20th.
Okay.
And in the early 2000s and mid-2000s, the story was never like this. The story was good. Do you understand what I'm saying? So where did it go wrong? How did it go wrong? And how did it go wrong? From my experience, personal experience, I'm speaking from my experience. I'm going to divide it into four parts. The first part is the part of the South African women. Right? The South African women, in as much as they've helped us, a lot of them have also done a lot of damage to us. And how do I mean by that? Because as a woman, when you begin to come out to say, I can never date a South African, and Nigerians are better than South African, Nigerians spend money, Nigerians pop bottles. Not all Nigerians spend money like that. Not all Nigerians pop bottles. I'm not going to spend money like that. And I'm not going to go into a club and start popping bottles like that. That's one damage. And from there, the South African men and South African nation begin to have that hatred for us. You understand? And again, don't forget, it's a new phase for the South African women because they've been stuck with the South African men for a very long time, and all of a sudden there's an influx of immigrants now coming. Now they begin to have.
It's like a new thing.
It's like a new thing and different opportunities to choose from. And then when you begin to go out to say things like South African men are abusive, South African men don't like to spend money, South African men are stingy, South Africa, you are causing problems for us as Nigerians. You understand? I'm not saying that's what all, because like I said,
it has been a narrative that has been.
It has been a narrative.
Women
that
people have been public to say that.
Yes. You see them on social media. You see them in whatever they can. I can never date a South African man again. This, that. If you can't date a South African man, keep it to yourself.
Okay.
If you are lucky to get a good man, don't necessarily be a Nigerian or whatever, good luck to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is one part. The second part is a part of Nigerians as well. We as Nigerians. And this is the honest truth. You understand? A lot of Nigerians are shallow-minded. A lot of Nigerians are lousy. A lot of Nigerians are too defensive. A lot of Nigerians are childish. Because, number one, before Nigerians started coming to South Africa has been existing. They have their way of life. They have their tradition. They have their culture. Who are we to come into South Africa and want to begin to say South Africans are lazy? Or want to begin to say South Africans are this, South Africans are that? It's none of our business. These people, South Africans, have been living their life before we came. We can't come into another person's country and want to change their perception or want to change their way of life or want to think we are better. If we feel we are better as in our country is better as in then we should be in our country. If we feel we are wiser, if we feel we are more intelligent, then why are we not fighting that cause in our country to make sure our country is the best in the world? So that's the second aspect. The first aspect, the South African women, they've also done all the lots of bad. As much as they've done all the lots of good, they've shown us love. Some of them have shown us love. Some of them have assisted us. But as well, some of them have destroyed us. The second part is the Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians think they are better than others. A lot of Nigerians think their way of life is better than others. A lot of Nigerians feel they can impose their own understanding and feeling of life on other people. Meanwhile, those countries have been existing before us. Those countries, they are fine with their way of life. Those countries are who are we? Now the third one, which I'm going to say, is also the South African men.
Okay.
You understand? Which also, they've kind of accepted defeat. And because of that, they've channeled that as being it. That anything Nigeria, they're not ready to accept. Because we mustn't forget that a lot of things are being managed and controlled by South African men. And when men begin to hear that women say they are this, they are that, and they also hear Nigerians saying this and not that, it automatically turns into hatred. And that's where the hatred comes with. And that's where they begin to push the narrative that Nigerians are this, Nigerians are that, Nigerians are that. The fourth part is the government. African government generally. Now, because we're in South Africa, I'm going to say because of South Africa, a lot of people that do not have business to be in government, they feel pushing the narrative of hatred and migrant must go and whatever is going to give them votes. And they are playing on that part to divide us the more and to get votes and enter into government. And if you notice, every time there has been xenophobic attacks in South Africa, it has, in most cases, been out of a speech of a politician or a public figure that says something and it sparks that out. Now, for me, from my understanding and study, those are where the problems are. Now, if you have to change that narrative, you understand, everyone has to accept the fact that 1, 2, 3 places we've gone wrong. We've said bad things. We've said what is not supposed to be said. Now, how do we move forward? As individuals, as community, and as Africans. And when we accept that fact and we accept that for the sake of Africa, for the sake of our growth, we, the good ones, we need to start coming together. We need to start doing things together. We need to start opening up these conversations in public places and coming up with an agenda for that. Look, now let us imagine that if Nigerians and South Africans get it right and begin to work together, what impact will it have on Africa? And that's the only truth. Once Nigeria and South Africa get it right,
yeah, because I do believe that Nigeria and South Africa are the biggest, right?
Yes, like, economies in Africa and everything.
Yes.
You can imagine how we can impact on ourselves. And you can imagine what it means for the whole of Africa. And you can imagine what it means for the Western world. Because look, the truth is, Africa is the next biggest thing. Africa is still raw. Africa is still untapped. There are still a lot of opportunities in Africa. And the Western world knows that. And the only way they can continue to take advantage of Africa is by when we are divided.
I think that also, what you are saying, absolutely valid. Everything that you've said here, absolutely valid. I think that also the other thing again that I can say as a South African is that there's a lot of frustration, from South Africans. It's not only towards Nigerians, I think it's towards foreigners, but obviously, as we've said, Nigerians the biggest, because even if someone is not from Nigeria, they've now generalized, I'm a Nigerian. Do you understand? The frustration that I feel like a lot of us as South Africans we have is the fact that we are living in an almost lawless country. You can buy anything. You can buy your freedom in this country. The same case that I'm talking about, this is a Nigerian man that went in and changed cars illegally. That woman, where she is, she's really suffering. And I think that breaks my heart so much. You understand? What did he do? He paid the police. There's proof of it. She did not even just say something that
I know about
it can't be proven.
I know about it.
He paid the police.
I know about it.
We don't know why he sent money to her, but for the fact that she was arrested for a case that something that did not happen, he has done this, the cases are being closed and everything. Now imagine you are a South African, be it's a husband or a wife, or we are neighbors, or we were just in business. We are in business right now. You illegally change our business to you. I go to the police. As you said, go to the authorities. I get to the authorities. You pay the authorities. All of a sudden, my case is dropped. First of all, now, I don't have a voice. I do not have a voice. My right has been taken away by your power of having money to can go and buy that. And mind you, between the both of us, you planned it. You are the one that stole from me. So there are chances that you can steal from me and I still have when you leave, or you can leave me with nothing. So I won't even have money to now go and have to pay back and all that. Do you understand the frustration that you must feel? And then on top of that, you look at, I'm at my home country. I can't say I'm going to pack my bags and go to Nigeria. I can't, because Nigeria is not my home. You have your own home in Nigeria, but you're not in South Africa doing things that are now abusing me in my own motherland. So it really honestly is very frustrating and so heartbreaking, because our law officials fail us on a daily.
Thank you very much. And that's where I'm going to. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you report an issue to me, right, as an individual, not even as a Nigerian, not even as a community leader, the highest action I can take is to involve the authorities. And now when the authorities are, when they can be bought, what can I do?
Do you understand where the anger?
I understand where the anger. So even at times, the anger and the rage is put towards the wrong people.
Definitely.
Do you understand?
1,000%.
It's put towards the wrong people. Because there are a lot of things people do and get away with it. If the system does not permit them, they would not even try it. They would not do it. So now, how can we collectively make those systems functional? How can we collectively make those systems benefit the weak and the innocent?
Do you think?
And that is where I mentioned the failure of governments in Africa. Because if the government of Zimbabwe, the government of Nigeria, the government of Uganda have not failed their people will not be in South Africa as much as they are in South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? And if the government of South Africa have not failed South Africa, A lot of these people will not be in South Africa. A lot of these people, when they're in South Africa, they will comport themselves and respect the laws and traditions of the land, which still boils down to government. And don't forget, there are government departments and agencies. Their responsibilities are to fight these things. They are being paid from taxpayers' money because even in Dubai, as good as Dubai is, Dubai still have police. Do you understand? Which means their responsibility is to fight crime.
I know that both these communities, right?
Yeah.
Both South Africans and Nigerians, we all have a responsibility towards working to a better future.
Absolutely.
Together.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
Now, I think my question would be, a lot of the stories that come out, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of the stories that come out that are trending about Nigerians are stories of things they really did.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What do you think within your Nigerian community that is in South Africa needs to change, or would be steps that would be taken to at least minimize whatever it is that is happening? Because I know that thieves are everywhere, fraudsters are everywhere, bad people are everywhere. Even in South Africa, we've got our own South Africans, which there are certain things that I think should also change. But within your community of Nigerians in South Africa, what do you think would help? Because it won't be everyone, because it's impossible. We've got bad people everywhere. But what do you think maybe would be something that would actually help?
Okay. Something we've put in place is called the task force. It's a Nigerian community task force. If you are very conversant with the Nigerian community, you will notice that relatively in about a year and a half, 2 years now, there have been peace in some sectors. Because before, you hear there are lots of deaths, people killing each other in the Nigerian community because of business, because of this, because of that, and things like that. And we came together and said, no, how can we stop this thing? What is the best way to go through it? Because this is beginning to become an embarrassment to us. Innocent people are beginning to lose their lives. You understand? So we formed a task force.
Okay.
And now that task force responsibility is, if anybody does anything contrary to certain things that leads to death, injury, blah, blah, the task force is going to take it up. And the task force is going to take it up using the authorities and everything, because that is where it stops. We cannot get hold of someone now and kill the person. When we get hold of you, we'll hand you over to the police.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that. In fact, there are certain people, there are a lot of people Nigerians that have run away from South Africa because of the task force. But now, here's the challenge. Someone does something, you go after the person, you hand them over to the police. In the next 1 month or whatever, they're out on the street again. Now, what do you do?
Thank you.
Now, don't forget, I'm here in South Africa to better myself. I'm here in South Africa to better the life of my family. Now, am I going to leave my own things, leave my family, and begin to fight the fight of the authorities against someone, which we've handed over, and we find them on the streets again?
And the police are supposed to do their job. But
And
for you to see this person in the streets,
supposed to do
means
their job.
There was something
because
that happened.
even if we are willing to give all evidence, testify and whatever, before you know it, you say docket is missing.
Thank you.
Before you know it, people appear in court, they say there's no fuel to put in the car to bring them to court. In the next 2 months, they're on the street, or they tell these people, just lay low. In the next 2 months, when everything is down,
you can now show your face again.
You're out on the street.
That's the part that I'm saying, to say that it is so unfortunate of the fact that we are living in a South Africa that seems like it does not have the law. It's a lawless country. As you're saying, within you guys, you also see that. So imagine how upsetting that would have to be for a me that was born in South Africa, this is my home. I don't have
I understand,
any other home
I understand
to
what you
go
mean.
to.
I
And
understand
even
what you
when
mean perfectly.
and you
And
know,
I sympathize.
do you understand? Because
I
again,
do.
looking at the fact that the Nigerian community is so vastly wealthy, money is not an issue for you guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you? And I'm not saying, what I'm simply saying is that I understand the frustration of my people as well. The same way I understand your frustration as a Nigerian that is from a good community, and you see you guys' name just being ravaged everywhere. Almost every day there's one thing or another. And it really honestly does become something that I'm sure it's embarrassing for you guys. But it also continues now to add onto the narrative that they are all just bad. You cannot trust one. You know, I'll give you an example, right? So I was raised in a household where I'm Venda. You know, my father was very strict and all that, and like listen, there's a lot. So we grew up actually watching a lot of Nigerian movies and all. Even till today, my favorite genre of music is Afrobeats. You know, but now I lost my train of thought. What did I? Oh, okay, no. So I remember when I went to varsity, I met this guy. I was walking, and I met this guy. He's a hairdresser. As he's a hairdresser, you know, he shows me a pamphlet. That was in 2009. Shows me a pamphlet, and he says, "Listen, if you want to do this hairstyle, I'll give you a discount." I was new in Gauteng, so I went in there. He did my hair. He was really, really good at doing hair. And so I took his numbers. The following month, when I went to do my hair, I went to the same guy. I went to that guy for, I would say, 3 years, maybe plus, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. I would say 4 years, somewhere there. To a point where I mean, I wouldn't go to his home or anything, but it was always that thing where even if I go to town and I'm not doing my hair, I see him. His name is Ade, you know, and like we would talk, laugh. When it's December, he would always say, "Come, I'll do your hair for free." Because, you know, like we had that relationship. I really trusted him like my brother.
Yeah.
My first car, I bought it from Ade because he moved from doing hair, and his work ethic was great, you know. He moved from doing hair, and then he went on to sell cars. When I needed my first car, I went to him as a brother. You know, I need a car, this and this. He asked, "What's your budget?" I told him, "This is my budget," and everything. I went there. Can you believe this guy sold me a written off car and he never told me? I didn't know anything about cars. The reason why I was even comfortable going to him to buy that car is because I've known you for 4 years. You're like a brother to me. But that guy screwed me over, and he still sold me a written off car. How I found out was because I wanted to insure the car. And when they did that, they're like, "No, this is code." I remember they said code. I'm like, "What?" They're like, "No, the car is written off." I was so hurt. You know, I was so hurt because I'm like, "Bruh, I know you. I thought I know you. I mean, I've been giving you business for years. I thought we're brother and sister." Now, I think the reason why I'm saying this is that people are different. I could have turned around and said, all Nigerians are bad. You understand? I understood that, okay, that is an individual thing. That is him. It means he's someone that is just not loyal, you know. But do you understand that there are certain people that have experienced even worse? And you are experiencing all that because you had an open heart and you trusted, you know. So it really, honestly, it's a very slippery...
No, I understand you. And look, the honest truth is, as I'm also sitting down here, and a lot of Nigerians as well, they have their experiences as well.
With other Nigerians or South Africans.
Other Nigerians and with South Africans and things like that. Look, I am telling you, you hear some stories and you begin to wonder, what is this?
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerians that are honest and whenever they've lost their life in this country because of maybe South African or what. So, look, it cuts across everywhere. You understand? And like I said, the 3 levels of education, the last one, who you decide to be, is what keeps you going. And what I'll continue to tell people, either you like it or not, the honest truth is wealth, success, it has traces, it has foundation. If anybody wants to determine how you became successful, it's very easy. There's a trace of line. You can't jump from owning a salon from owning a saloon, right? And now owning a club, or from driving a Golf to driving a Bentley.
Yeah. Something.
You must be able to explain it. And when you begin to cut at some starting point, then something is not right. But look, there are consequences, and people face consequences. But unfortunately, when people are facing those consequences, we might not be aware. There is nothing you can do that is bad to the next person. There's a consequence. You will face you can now start facing it and beginning to endure, keep it to yourself or whatever. But it's as a result of something you've done in the past.
As we're about to wrap up, I would like to just ask you this question, because I think for me, especially my last guest, I'm really just traumatized by her story, you know.
Yeah.
That you said it's the tax force in South Africa, right? Does that also help the wives that are married to Nigerian men? If they are having disputes, can they be able to come to the force for the force to help them? Because
now, yes, they can, but like I said, this is where the problem is. These ladies themselves, they have a part to play because they defend these guys themselves. You understand what I'm saying? When things go extremely wrong, that is when you see them coming out. There have been a lot of associations of South African women married to Nigerian men. At the end of the day, what happens in those associations? When we even try to guide them, you understand what I'm saying? What happens? They begin to fight themselves. They begin to show off wealth of their husbands. They begin to segregate between themselves and everything. Now, your husband does this. You come to us. We say we are going to take this action. We go to the police. We involve the police. Now, you go and withdraw the case and say, it's your husband. We are going to deal with this as a family matter and everything. Now, where does that put us as individuals? I told you, there's a lady, a South African, that the husband beats her. We used to stay in the same building. And when I could not take it anymore, I called in the police and everything. When the police came, this girl told us, what is our business? It is a matter between herself and her husband. They are going to solve it as husband and wife. You understand what I'm saying? Now, a lot of these ladies, they know what their husbands, their boyfriends are into. When things are good, they taunt other women. They show off wealth. They put down other women. When things go bad, Nigerians are bad.
what role do you think the Nigerian men are also playing within that dynamic?
Like I said, it's a very difficult thing. You understand what I'm saying? When you hear the story of the good Nigerians that don't want to associate with these people, you'll be amazed that, so this type of people also exist in South Africa. Now it has become a situation whereby the good Nigerians don't even want to get involved, don't even want to associate with that part of stories or whatever. Like I told you, there are South Africans in this country that are in top positions that have been married to their Nigerian husband for 30 years. Likewise, there are a lot of South African women in high places, high position, doing well. They are married to their Nigerian husband for 30 years, 35 years, 25 years, 20 years. I know people like that personally. I've interviewed people like that personally. And those are the kind of stories, those are the kind of narratives we need to push out. Unfortunately, because things are so good, you won't hear those kind of people come out to say their story. But those ones that have been hurt, and because they know once they come out and say the name Nigeria, everybody is going to jump on the train to say, you see, we've seen you, we've told you this, that, and things like that. They would not also come out to say what part they had contributed for those things to be like that. But irrespective of that, we need to work together. We need to try and stop this thing. We need to minimize it. And we need to begin to push the good narratives of Nigerians and South Africans. We must not fall into the hands of those who have agenda to divide us, to continue to divide us, to continue to take advantage of us. Look, the Nigerian music industry, the South African music industry is the two biggest industry in Africa. How have we collaborated? Have we ever seen a Nigerian South African music festival in Nigeria, in South Africa? No. Why? Because they've taught us to hate ourselves. They've taught us not to work together. You understand what I'm saying? How many drama of Nigeria, South Africa have we seen?
Yeah, so much, especially lately.
Sorry?
It has just been crazy.
You know, they are beginning to come up. Look at what is happening in the fashion industry. We are supposed to start collaborating. We are not. All these things are advantages we can take care of. Have you ever walked into any restaurant in South Africa where you can either eat a South African food or a Nigerian food? I doubt if there's any. That is a potential market if we decide to work together. Those are the kind of opportunities we need to start looking at.
Looking into and also just working together. I think it really is that thing of the same rotten potatoes we're having in the South African country, the same rotten potatoes we're having in the Nigerian community.
But you'll be surprised that those two rottens, they even work together.
They do. They do. No, not amazed. We know for a fact they do.
But who will be fighting ourselves? Who will be the ones pushing their narrative for that hate to continue between us, the good ones?
I'm telling you, the Nigerian drug lord has got South African runners. The South African drug lord
I've got South African police. I've got South African police on their pay list.
Exactly, their payroll. You understand? The kingpins, they've got South African police. They work together. They don't see they make money. They don't see each other as South African. You're actually right when it comes to that, you know. So if you're Nigerian and you've got any collaborations, you are welcome here. Or South African, you know. But basically, thank you, you know, for coming. And perhaps maybe also just showing a different side. I would say that for me, I think the reason why I even shared my story with Ade is that they say once bitten,
twice shy.
Twice shy. You know, so
and one rotten apple.
It does. So I will not lie. Looking at everything that has been said, it was a bit difficult for me to now go into business with another person that might be Nigerian, because I'm like, I thought I knew him, you know, and this happened. And of course it broke my heart. And it's easy to just generalize because you're just like, let me just, you know. But we need to obviously understand that, you know, people are different and people are individuals, you know. The same way that my ex-husband was Zulu, I can't say I will never date a Zulu person based off of one person. You know, I understand that it's not all Zulu people. It's one person that is an individual. And I think maybe we should also start learning to see it that way. However, I think that it would also be positive to just see more and more of good Nigerians that are doing honest work and having an honest living, you know, and stuff like that. Because if you go to social media right now, who are they? They are in Bentleys, they are in Lamborghinis at the age of 23. You're driving a Lamborghini, you're in the club popping bottles and champagne.
Then you should know something is not right. But unfortunately, those are the kind of guys.
Those are the ones that are in our faces.
Those are listen, those are the ones in your faces. Those are the ones a lot of ladies are attracted to. And those are the ones a lot of ladies used to compare other innocent, hardworking guys, men. Yes. Which is unfortunate. You understand what I'm saying? And look, I do go to the club once in a while. I don't drink, I don't smoke. But the funny thing is, you are with a bottle of water, and then people begin to look at you. Like, look at this poor guy or whatever. But there's a table across you, they are popping champagne and whatever, and that's where all the attention, all the ladies are focused to. These are the guys that are attracting those ladies, and those ladies are using to measure other guys, to insult other guys, and everything. And one other thing is this. As a Nigerian, innocently, I talk to a lady. I just want to get to know you and whatever. and 2 minutes, 2 hours later, or the next day, I just say and whatever, and you begin to hear, I have to travel home, I have a funeral, or I want to buy a wig, or buy me whatever. It's so frustrating. Where did you get that opportunity that every Nigerian spends their money in such ways, or it's every Nigerian that understands that?
I am
it's
a South African
tiring.
woman. I am a South African woman, and I can actually tell you that it's not only to Nigerian men. It's to all men. I'm telling you, you will just have your own Nigerian
I don't
experience.
know you yet. We are just beginning to talk. Now you are pointing me with your problems, and you expect I'm going to bring out 5,000, 10,000 rand. No, man, it
That
doesn't
is
work
towards
like that.
all men.
It
No, I'm gonna say it. I'm not like it's towards all men. It's not,
no, I think it's
not
different.
only just, no, okay, maybe I do not know, but for me, what I know is that is towards all men. Even our brothers are crying.
You see a 20-year-old girl, a 21-year-old girl, she wants to buy iPhone 15, and she's even bold enough to just, someone you've met in a day or whatever, and you just feel you want, she's even bold enough to tell you, my phone is bad, come and buy me iPhone 15. You're not even saying my phone is bad, come and buy me a Samsung or a whatever. You're saying iPhone 15, iPhone 14.
is her standard.
A 21, 22-year-old. Look,
What are you doing going to a 21, 22-year-old?
No, I'm just saying. You
That's
understand?
what I'm also
Look,
saying.
At times, at
Yeah.
times you might be in a gathering. Someone is
Okay.
sitting beside you. You open
Yeah.
up a conversation.
Yes.
You begin to talk.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, okay, this person looks, intelligent, matured. Maybe there might be an opportunity for this person.
There's no 21, 22-year-old that is matured. I'm
No,
telling you.
no. I disagree. I disagree.
I personally...
Maturity and exposure is not about age.
Okay.
It's about experience in life. A 21-year-old might have had an experience more than a 30-year-old. That's the fact.
Yes, a 21-year-old might have had an experience that, can be that it's... Well, anyway, for me, personally...
Yeah.
I really don't. That's why the moment I see you being an old man with a 21, 22-year-old, I already look at you as a creep. Because it means for you to relate with a 21-year-old, it means something has to have gone wrong with you. You did not develop fast enough.
I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, I went to an award ceremony. It's an African award ceremony. And there was a lady beside me. Quite young lady. And we started speaking about the awards, about Africa generally and whatever. And now I told her about the Nigerian Community Excellence Award and everything. And there she told me, I'm a presenter. This, that. And that struck me. Because at the Nigerian Community Excellence Award, what we do is we make sure the presenters, one Nigeria, one South Africa, to promote social cohesion, unity. You understand? And it struck to me. No, in fact, I saw one other lady presenting, a young lady. And I said to my brother, I love this girl's confidence. I love the way she's handling the mic. Do you think this girl might be able to handle the award at the South African? And the lady beside me that we had started talking or whatever told me she's a designer, what she does and everything. And she said, I'm a presenter as well. I can do better than that, blah, 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 blah. At that point in time, we exchanged numbers. You understand what I'm saying? We exchanged numbers. She's a young lady and everything. Send me your proposal. Send me your profile. Send me what you've done. Let's see. I'm telling you, that is the girl that is going to present.
Which good for
at
her.
the Nigerian Community Excellence. So imagine, those are kind of examples. And the next day you begin to probably talk to her and whatever, and now she says, I don't have data, or...
but
it's
that's
very
the
tiring.
part that I'm saying that...
It's very tiring.
Unless if maybe like... If
it's not only 21-year-old that do it, even 30-year-olds do it. 29-year-olds do it. No, I'm telling you, 32-year-olds do it. That's the honest truth.
Woman, finish them. All of them, okay? I don't care South Africa or Nigeria, but finish them, my sisters. Do it for our mothers. But I think that obviously it's just crazy because even from that aspect, I mean, we are wrapping up now. But if you look at it, men also don't want to court anymore. Do you understand? It comes from that place of, you see me today,
Are you generalizing?
No, I'm talking about like all men.
That's what you are generalizing.
What? How can I say? No, I'm talking about all
Some
men in terms of like all
some men don't want
no,
to.
I'm talking about like from both. We're talking about two
Yeah.
communities here,
Yeah.
South Africans and Nigerians.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about like from this community of South Africans and
Yeah.
Nigerians, right?
Yeah.
When I say all, some men, obviously, it will always be some. It's not all. The same way that it's not all women that are asking for data,
Yeah, of
right?
course, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I've seen is that they also don't want to court. We'll be talking like this. All of a sudden tomorrow, hey, do you want to come by my house to Netflix and shit? Block. Do you understand? So I think like women have also just seen that this one tomorrow is gonna be asking about a Netflix and shit. Let me just already tell him I want my iPhone.
Me as an individual, if I meet you and I talk with you for 5-10 minutes, I already have an idea of the kind of person you are. I already have an idea of what I can push to you that would not sit well with you, or what I can push to you that you would like. But in most cases, and that's what I'm saying, and that's where the problem comes. In most cases, I'm sitting down, I'm talking with you, and it's not just, the gelling is not gelling. You understand what I'm saying? And it comes to me that the agenda you begin to push forward is how you can benefit. How you can benefit. At that point in time, I might also start thinking, okay, if she benefits from me, what am I also going to benefit from her? Do you understand what I'm saying? So the way you present yourself to me is the way I treat you. The way I present myself to you is the way you treat me. And we need to understand that fact.
Both men and women need to just change.
Yes. But honestly, for me to wrap up, I'm going to say this. There's been a lot of positive aspect coming from a lot of South Africans compared to 3-4 years. They are beginning to open up more. They are beginning to accept the African unity stuff, and they are beginning to understand, to deal with people on an individual basis. I'm going to be very, very honest with that. There have been a lot of improvement on that side. Yeah. And we need for it to improve more. I'm even amazed. I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm even amazed, even with the Chidinma issues. Yes, there are a lot of South Africans that are against that. But likewise, there are a lot of South Africans that are in support of her, that were for her. And that's an improvement from where we are 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago. And we must continue in that way.
I think that the other thing, again, that I should say is that, again, in terms of like shedding light, you see, you spoke of the Nigerian Excellence Award, right? Yeah. And which, in case some of you guys do not know, most of the times, like, awards are there to encourage good behavior. You know, yes. I won Entertainer of the Year, most entertaining. That's because I'm entertaining. So it's supposed to make me want to be more entertaining. You understand what I'm saying? It's important to also shed light. The same way you were talking about, we don't see collabs between the South African community and the Nigerian community. We have got Owamie. Owamie has got a big platform. She's a South African. What's stopping the awards to actually say, Owamie, come, you be the one that heads this, so that the public from this side of ours will be able to see? Then you also get a Nigerian that is in the that is maybe in South Africa. Then it's exposure to both, because I feel like there might be a lot of good things that are happening within the Nigerian community. But if South African community does not know, then it did not happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not that it didn't happen, but to them it did not happen. So I think that also, let's start to push positivity from the Nigerian side, the same way that they push the lifestyle, the whatever, within the Nigerian community.
Owamie, trust me, we've been doing that. I personally have been doing that. I'm going to give you an example without mentioning him. The last year award, because we wanted South Africans to hear about it, and we went for someone that we thought was a very high-profile South Africa that can push the narrative with the South African public and everything. We spoke, we agreed on a fee, we paid a deposit, there was a contract, do this, push this, do this within the Nigerian community and everything. She collected the money, she never did anything.
So she scammed
you understand? Guys. Well, maybe that way. But at the end of the day, we terminated our contract. And we said, no, the reason why we are bringing you on board and the reason why we are paying you so much is because we want you to do 1, 2, 3, push this into the South African community. Let's sit together.
Let me guess.
She didn't.
You went for a celebrity.
Not really. Someone that was coming up. Okay. That we felt could play that role very well. But I don't want to mention the name.
Wait.
But, but I don't want to mention the name. I'll tell, but I don't want to mention the name. Okay. You understand? But we did that. It didn't work out. Look, there have also been South Africans that we had wanted to work with. We'd say, okay, I'm going to give an example. There's a South African that has been reaching out to me. I do video production, I do photography, I do this, I do that, I do that. Now a Nigerian artist came into South Africa through me, and he was supposed to be performing in certain clubs or whatever. And I called this guy, I said, look, you say you know how to do these things. I want to give you a test and everything. Come and record this, come and do this, come and do this and that. He gave me his bill. He even insisted I had to pay everything at once, which, okay, it's fine. I paid everything. It was supposed to be 5 events at 5 different places. The first one, he came. He shot the first one. Now, the next day or 2 days after, I asked him, okay, where are the pictures and the clips of this, whatever? Now, the next thing he said, that I should buy him lunch. I said, dude, you've not even done my work. You've not even delivered my work. You're asking for me to buy you lunch. I'm not even owing you. I've paid you everything. Even if you are going to ask me to buy you lunch, there's a way you put it to me. Now you are putting it to me as if I owe you. Now, what do I deduce from that? This Nigerian guy, we get people that treat us like that, but that doesn't mean we are not going to work with another South African. As I speak to you up to today, for 3 weeks, he has not given me that video because I've not given him lunch money or whatever. We also get those kind of attitude as well. You understand what I'm saying and everything. Yeah. And that's the another one I spoke to you at an higher level that I thought was professional, that we had a contract, come and be the South African presenter, push this thing to South Africa, because there are categories for South Africans as well in that award. And we want South Africans to be involved. We want South Africans to know about it. But she collected the money. She never did anything. She just wanted to come there that day and just present and leave. And we said, no, it doesn't work like that. So we are going to terminate your contract because we gave her first warning, second warning, third warning, in written, fourth warning. There was still no changes. At the time minute when she saw things were going, then she wanted to start changing. And we had to terminate our contract, got someone else.
Professionalism. That's what I feel like might also be a problem and affect of what's next.
You understand?
But yeah, man, I mean, thank you so much.
So please, you are going to get a special invite for this award.
Okay.
VIP. Oh! You understand?
Exactly,
VIP.
Exactly where I deserve to be. I'm kidding.
You will meet phenomenal Nigerians. You will meet our ambassador. You will meet our consul general. You will meet top Nigerian professors. You will meet Nigerian government officials from Nigeria. You will meet
wonderful. Big?
Yes, go to our website and watch it. Go to our website and go, and please, the viewers should also go. Yeah. The website address is www.nceawards.com.
I will write it.
Yes. Yeah. You write it. It's there. Come and experience our culture. Yeah. Come and experience South African culture.
I love jollof
Come
rice.
and see.
They all know this. I love jollof rice.
And things like that. So yeah, please, it's very, very important.
I think that it is important. And how can I say this? One hand at a time, you know, because at the end of the day, guys, as South Africans, we cannot have all Nigerians leave this country. It's impossible. It's something that cannot happen.
And I want to see as Owamie go to Nigeria.
I want to go to Nigeria.
Come back with a wonderful experience.
Can I be honest with you? I'm just like, oh my gosh.
No, when you're ready to go, let me know.
I want to go to Nigeria.
When you're ready to go,
is it?
Let me know.
Okay, I will.
That I guarantee you. When you want to go, let me know.
I will let you know.
Yes, I won't say more than that.
And then I'll vlog. I'll vlog to just show. But I think that I think it's time that we honestly squash this. I actually recorded a video, and I'm gonna upload that video. I think I'm gonna upload it today. And everyone will see. Obviously, that fit I'm wearing here is different because I filmed it with a bunch of other videos. And the video actually just said, "Dear South Africans and Nigerians, please stop. Like, let's stop the fighting, It's okay. Like, at this point, I think that we have all seen that we can say whatever about each other, but I think it's time that we just stop and let's just live together in peace. You understand what I'm saying? And I think if there's anything that I can also just say is that it really is wrong for me to leave South Africa and go to Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And
disrespect their law.
Disrespect
their way of life.
Their way
their
of
tradition.
life. And,
absolutely.
you know, go there and start just being a criminal. Things that I can't do to
Absolutely.
here.
I totally
don't
agree.
want to go there and do that.
I totally
so
agree.
I think it also is a responsibility from the Nigerian community that, guys, please also start just doing better. You know, those that are bad. You understand what I'm saying? Like, please just sit, rethink before you do certain things, to just say that, okay, you know what? I don't know how to say this. We are all one. But at the same time, we're born in a country. So you know which country you were born in. You know, just please, because it's not nice. I will not lie, you know. So, yeah. So thank you so much, Ninjas, for joining us. And, we'll see you guys in my next upload. Mwah. Bye.